The new website must be to your liking. I've got twice as much email this week as I've ever had before, so we're going to try to get through it twice as fast. And here we go. Brian has a question about a D-Link router. He had unplugged it and it reset all of his settings, and he's wondering how to get it reconnected. Brian, it sounds like you found the setup wizard to go through the web-based setup on the D-Link router. Do that along with some instructions from the D-Link website. Go there and they have some tutorials as well, and I think you'll find that you'll get it back up and running. Maurice wrote in and wanted to give people some more options for converting audio tapes or LPs to CDs and or your digital options, and he wrote in and said there's some software called NCH software and WavePad, and you can go to nchsoftware.com. And Maury, we appreciate the information. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there. Harold has a good question about a DSL modem, combining it with a router, and he's wondering, will that give him extra security, and if so, will it slow his computer speeds down? The second answer is no. It won't slow your computer speeds down. Your internet speed will be just fine for upload and download through a router. Would it increase your security going through the router? Probably. Your DSL does have a built-in firewall as well, but by running it through a router, that's a second piece of hardware a hacker would have to get through to get to your computer. But I would say it's probably overkill in your normal situation. As long as you're running good antivirus software, anti-spyware software, and keeping your software Windows firewall running, says you're running Windows XP, I think that combined with your DSL is just fine. Pam, I don't think that there's going to be anything that I can help you with. You're probably going to have to go to the learning website's support people to figure out what's going on in your situation. I would, I guess, suggest trying Firefox as an alternative browser to Internet Explorer. You might be able to log in and do what you need to do just fine. Otherwise, contact the learning website support. Kathleen and anyone else out there wanting to get rid of Norton, on my new website at helpmerick.com, in the lower right hand side I have a whole set of my links and resources. It's always on the first page. Actually, it's always on every page, and you will find that I have the Norton removal tools right there for you. Just click on it, download it, and run that removal tool. It will get rid of the Norton for you. Bill, the Windows Movie Maker will not take you all the way home to building a DVD quality movie from the software. You can save it as an AVI or a Windows movie file, a Windows movie video file, WMV, but either way you're going to need a second software package to compile the DVD. You can either use Nero has an option, Roxio has an option, there's a ULEAD program out there. Adobe just put out last year, maybe 2 years ago at the most, their Premiere Elements, which is a home version of their very sophisticated movie software, but you're going to need a second software package to burn the DVD. Ed, I'm not sure why you're having so many problems downloading and installing Firefox. I would first go to Add and Remove Programs, remove Firefox if it is listed there, go back to your desktop, delete all of the icons that are listed there, and then re-download Firefox from firefox.com or mozilla.com and reinstall, just taking all the defaults, and you should end up with just one icon on your desktop, which is the launcher for Mozilla Firefox. Deidre, the online version of Quicken is very, very limited in terms of the things you can do. You can't do near as many customized reports. You can't do as many automated things as you were able to do with your Quicken desktop version. You can't do budgets. So it depends on what you use Quicken for, on whether or not to go to the online. I do think it is safe. If it wasn't safe, they're risking their company's reputation and therefore their company's livelihood. But as far as the online version, if you just want to track your income and your expenses, it works fantastic. But if you need to do those other reports and other banking activities that Quicken has on their desktop version, you won't like the online version. Judy, when you backed up your QuickBooks, hopefully what you did was had the file open, had your flash drive inserted, clicked File, Backup, told it to back up to the flash drive for each of your 6 companies. Now to restore those companies, you put the flash drive back in, open QuickBooks, click File, Restore Company, and then navigate to your flash drive, open up the companies one at a time, and that should work. Unless you moved the files from your flash drive, and they were always there to begin with, they're not going to be deleted by any means except you, so they should still be there on your flash drive. Sue wrote in with a follow-up question that said that she was having some problems with some symbols and unreadable text printing on her printer, and it turns out she went ahead and moved back from Firefox 3 to Firefox 2, and it solved her problem. I've never heard of that, Sue. I've not heard of that particular problem, so I'm glad you found the answer. But I would suggest going to Firefox 3 as soon as you can, because the Firefox 2 is not nearly as secure as Firefox 3. It may involve updating the drivers for your printer so it's more compatible with the newer software. Michael has moved to the Kaspersky Internet Protection software and wants to get rid of AVG but can't find a way to get rid of it. If you're having problems, the best thing to do, Michael, is go get the AVG removal tool from AVG's website. Just go to this website and you can download the removal tool. It will remove the product for you. I remember this question from a couple of weeks ago. Julia cannot get her modem up and running because she went from Ubuntu back to Windows. Resetting your BIOS is not going to help. You have to go to the manufacturer of your computer and or the device that you're trying to get going and find a Windows driver for it. Caljo has a problem with a stubborn virus, and what I think you should do, Caljo, is go to my website, helpmerick.com, and search for Combo Fix. And once you download and run Combo Fix, that should help get rid of a lot of your problems. Then rerun a full scan with your AVG and hopefully be back up and running. Ron needs a new driver for his printer for Windows Vista, and the way you find any drivers is go to the website that manufactures that particular product, in your case Konica Minolta, go into their support section, look for drivers, and then narrow down what your particular product is, and you will end up with the answer. But I've done it here for you. Go to this website, and that's a shortcut to get directly where your Konica Minolta Windows Vista drivers are. Good luck. Dick, sorry to see you go. You're only hurting yourself. Thomas raises an interesting question that I just started exploring this week. There's a newer antivirus program that's put out a new version of its pay version called Anti-Vir, V-I-R, and I'm going to start testing that in the upcoming months, and you'll probably see some stuff about it on my website. The download right now is half the size of AVG, but I have to see how it runs and if it's as friendly and as effective as AVG. Neil, sorry to see you're having so many problems with the AVG. Rewind the program a little bit and you'll find the uninstall utility for AVG if you decide you don't want it anymore. Robert, you must be using one of the pay services that Google offers, and there's very few of them, but maybe you're doing one of the Google Checkout or something that you're using there, because I went through my Google account and I can't find anything related to a credit card, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. So the only thing I can think of is that you're using one of their pay services, therefore you have to see your credit card if you're giving that to them to pay for one of their services. Jose, another listener slash website visitor, alerted me to the fact that AVG has come out with 8.5, and it was just apparently in the last few weeks. And I will test it, and I will give you more information on the website. For now, 8.0 works fine. In fact, they're still supporting 7, which I'm surprised about. That's still out there, and people are still getting updates for it, but they are getting an end of life on it coming up soon. Mike, I'm not sure what the MTS video format is, but you can use the VLC media player to convert those MTSs to a more standard AVI or an MPEG type video file. But you can also try some of the products I mentioned earlier in the video, Adobe Premiere Elements, ULEAD has a movie program, or Roxy or Nero. Amalia, I'd be glad to put this information on my website. Send me an email to my email address. You do have it, and I can put up a little blurb on the website so that people see it. Maybe you can get some volunteers. Eric has a big question here about DVDs and burning DVDs and CDs, and I would say go out and buy a new one. You can get a brand new DVD burner for around $50 or sometimes even less on the internet. Memorex, Sony, Plextor are all good brands that will work just fine for a home user, and they do come with the software to burn DVDs and CDs right in the package. Barb, I definitely would not use the CA product. The CA product is large and sometimes doesn't protect you near as well. A lot of times doesn't protect you near as well as other softwares. I would get rid of the McAfee, cut off your subscription, and use the AVG that's on the website at helpmerick.com. John, the short answer is you cannot get rid of them altogether. The spam is spam as long as it's getting into your spam folder. Just select all and delete them. The only way you can really truly get rid of them is changing your email address. John, don't be worrying about the cookies. The cookies you're seeing from Earthlink are just from advertisements you come across on different websites, especially news websites. Earthlink does a lot of advertising, and they'll deposit a little cookie on your computer. It does nothing to your computer. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Cookies will not bother your computer. AVG just finds them as a potential threat. That's all we have for this week. We got in a lot of email. I'll be back again next week with more questions to your email. Thanks.